In case you're wondering, the name Green,
Yeah.
I ain't Jewish.
What are you?
I got enough trouble being black.
Mm-hmm.
But Howard, ask me any question. I'll be as smart as a wiffle ball bat. Or my name ain't be Richard Green.
All right, now.
Or you can be calling me by my African name.
What is that?
Buckwheat.
Now, wait a second, Dr. Green.
Howard, let me
Yes.
tell you something. I didn't get nowhere by just sticking my thumb out on the road.
Mm-hmm.
I have myself an MBA, a PhD, and a BBQ.
Is that right? A BBQ?
Yeah, it's a barbecue. I may be an educator, but a man needs ribs.
Now, wait a second, Dr.
Howard,
Green.
let me say another thing here. I am proud to be New York's first sleep-in school chancellor.
Well, what do you mean sleep in?
See, Mr. Couch, the Mayor Couch, got me a small room downstairs in the Gracie Mansion,
Yeah.
right down by the furnace.
Yeah.
It'd be real nice, though.
Yeah,
Our
now-
family ain't complaining. It's a little oil burner, but a little smelly, but we can deal with this.
Dr. Green, first of all,
Yes.
we're all joking around here, but I got to say welcome to New York.
Well, thank you, and I take that as the palm muckety educatables that I be.
All right, but let me say something. You know, the kids in New York are looking forward to you coming because...
That's right, Howard, and I am be looking forward to teaching these little bastards something.
Well, now, Mr. Green,
Now,
just
wait a
because
second.
lots
Yeah,
of them
that's
don't
the
have
treat-
fathers
yeah,
living at home.
You've got to treat them respect because I am being a firm believer in the 3 R's.
What is that?
The 3 R's, you know, reading and writing.
Reading and writing
What's
and
the third one?
arithmetic, right?
I don't know. Arithmetic ain't my strong suit. Who knows? I don't know no mathematics.
Now, Dr. Green, obviously
yes,
you're...
I intend to teach the children to ask the important questions.
The important... What question is that?
Like why gravity work?
Yeah, now...
Why the sky blue?
Why is this guy...
Why Steve Allen can say he wrote 3,000 songs and nobody ever heard nothing of them.
Yeah, that's right. Well, those are important issues.
Absolutely. I also intend to teach sex education in school, the proper use of condominiums.
Condominium.
That's right.
Well, there is a problem here in New York. A lot of the kids are having sex.
Yes, indeed. That be the problem. And a lot of Afro-American ovulation going on out there.
That's right. Hey, you got to stop that.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
And as the prom muckety educatables, I am believing in mandatory drug testing for 6-year-olds.
Now, wait a second.
Mandatory drug testing for 6-year-olds. The way I got it figured, if a 6-year-old buy cocaine on school property, he should get what he pay for.
Yes.
None of that baby laxative stuff, 'cause you...
Oh, we're testing for purity.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know what happened when you snort baby laxative, don't you?
No, what happened?
Well, you best not sneeze, and you best not be wearing any white walking shorts.
Well, you're a very smart man. You are a doctor, right?
That absolutely am correct.
Yes.
Is Pistol Pete Maravich dead?
Yes.
Is Steve Rossi a vital American music force?
Yes.
I rest my case.
There you go.
You know, I'd have to teach these kids to know how to use the contraceptibles
Yes.
because I don't want anything to go on to be constipated to syncytimus, and I don't need no eternity suits.
All right. Dr. Green, I guess...
Yes.
It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Yes.
It am being a pleasure to be talking to you because I am highly qualified, you know.
Yes, people are
This is the
saying...
first time I ever talked to anybody. As you know, I've done my college feces on determined.
Now, wait a second. The college feces. The word is feces. Feces.
Well, I got a hold of some of that baby laxative.
All right, listen here, Dr. Green. I got to go.
One thing I got to ask you, Howard, maybe
Yes.
you can answer me this because this is going to be like part of my thrust.
Yes,
Yes,
because
it's
you're
right.
coming from Minneapolis. and
Absolutely.
You want to talk to a guy who knows New York.
Absolutely.
Right.
Something that I can relate to the kids about, and it's something I think is very important.
Yes.
The thermos.
The thermos.
It stay hot, it stay cold. How do it know?
All right. All right, Dr. Green.
It am be America, Howard.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. There he is. There he is, Dr. Green. He is good, that Dr. Green. That was pretty good.
Well, it was interesting
Yes.
to meet the school's chancellor.
Yes, it was. It'd be more interesting to meet his lawyer. I mean,
I was thinking to myself, I wonder what he thinks today. I'm sure somebody played that for him if he didn't hear it first.
yeah, right. Well, of course, all in good fun. Candy's on the line. Maybe we should get a traffic report. After all, we need...
How slippery are the roads?
How slippery is it, honey?
It's bad, honey. Really bad. Everywhere. The LIE is
Is
crawling.
it really wet?
It's wet. It's packed.
It's wet, packed, and slippery?
Yeah, they're pounding down the snow onto the pavements.
You're
Yeah.
kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. I'd like to thank that guy that was on an hour ago, Howard, for doing all that he did for me.
Who was that?
There's some listener that called up and made all those phone calls.
Oh, yeah,
Randy.
right. To Randy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always a fun thing to do, to call up a high-powered executive and yank him around.
I like that.
Anyway, I guess this is the time to really have a traffic report, don't you think?
I think so.
Robin, do you sense this?
Basically, traffic is going to be bad.
Right.
And it's deep and slippery and wet.
And pounded in.
And slow.
And slow.
And the wind is blowing. And the visibility stinks.
Mm-hmm.
And there are also delays at the airports, so call individual airlines. Alternate side of the
Doesn't
street
she breathe
parking
into the
suspended.
microphone a lot?
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I'm sick like a dog. I can't breathe today, Howard. So
Why
don't
did you
pick
come
on
to
me.
work?
Why did you go to work?
Out of guilt. I have tremendous guilt. I don't know why I came to work.
Probably because she got thrown off of NBC.
That's right. I'm fearing for my
and,
job now.
She's afraid for her work.
That's true.
What did you do before Shadow Traffic?
I worked in Asbury Park at a station called JLK-FM. I did 7 to midnight.
Oh, God. It's not bad enough doing 7 to midnight. Doing it on a station like JLK, that's got to be a real frightening radio nightmare. Okay, so just give me the rundown. It's real bad, real slippery.
Yes.
All of the roads are equally bad?
All of the roads are equally bad. It's especially bad in Connecticut, Long Island, and also in Queens on the Long Island Expressway. Long Island Railroad has delays. They say 15 minutes system-wide. And there's problems with the subways as well.
I don't know why the snow always affects the trains and the subways.
The subway should definitely not affect.
I know. But remember that time we got caught in that blizzard and there was snow in the subways?
Yeah, there was snow coming in underground. And that was a frightening thought.
That's very
And then I
scary.
begged Robin to push me into the tracks, and she wouldn't. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
All right, Candy, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, bye-bye.
We've lived through such things, Howard. Nobody knows the trouble we've seen.
Yeah, we've seen it all.
There was the time that rat ran through your legs while we
Yeah.
were trying to make it to Penn Station to get a taxi.
Yeah.
We used to have tough times getting home.
Yeah, it really was. It's like sort of ridiculous.
Yeah.
And to think we did it for those schmucks at NBC.
Really. They had us in the subway.
They had me crazy. They had me, like, really crazy, thinking that if I didn't show up one day, they'd fire me, and for God knows what reason I didn't want to be fired. It was sick. The best thing it would have been is for them to fire
Yeah,
me.
the best thing that ever happened was the firing.
No matter, if it looked like it was going to rain, I should have stayed home.
But we used to get caught out there in floods, hurricanes,
Yeah.
blizzards, trying to make it to work for them.
Yeah. And that's the same thing way you should sort of look at this situation. I mean, if you own your own company, I could see you going in. But if you don't, I could see you staying home. I can't see you going out today.
Yeah. What have they done for you lately?
Yeah. Although if the choice is staying home with your wife and kids, locked in the house all day.
Now.
And a lot of guys dig it because they like to go into the city and then call up and get a hotel room.
Yeah, and they stay away for the whole night.
Yeah, you can stay away for the whole weekend if you're working properly. I'm even thinking of, like, staying in the city tonight but I got to go home and get my clothes for that commercial shoot tomorrow.
Oh, that's right.
I'm shooting a bunch of commercials for the cable special, which are going to be good, Robin.
Good. You worked on some good stuff yesterday?
Yeah, I think so. You never know.
You got to see it.
I'm doing
So you're doing that in town?
Yeah, I got to do that in town tomorrow, so I'm hoping that it'll be okay. I'm going to shoot some with my mother,
Uh-huh.
which could be pretty funny.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to shoot some as Elvis, which I think will be pretty good. I'm going to do about 3 as Elvis and just see which ones come out the best.
Okay. So you need to be in town.
Yeah, but I got to go home and get my clothes and stuff.
Oh, well, then you're stuck.
I'm thinking I should wear, like, several different T-shirts, not be wearing the same thing in every year.
Yeah.
Then I got one real funny one that if I reveal to you what it is, you won't laugh when you see it.
Oh, okay. Don't.
Yeah. I mean, it's a visual thing. And I'm going to shoot them onto 16 millimeter, like a movie.
Yeah.
I'll make them like regular TV commercials. That's a cheap crap.
No video.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I don't want it to look like Jerry Garcia's pay TV commercial. Jerry Garcia and Bob Weir standing in front of Times Square with like a bad video camera.
Or that stupid tree.
Yeah. Hi, Jerry Garcia here. And, you know, Jerry, okay, I can make a good case for you dyeing your hair. I know you're into a totally natural thing. But it is a little upsetting to see a guy in his, 40s?
Yeah.
Who looks like he's your grandfather or like a Hasidic Jew, like an 80-year-old Hasidic Jew.
Didn't I tell you about the time I saw those girls in a record store and they were looking at the cover of Rolling Stone with Jerry Garcia?
Yeah.
And they were laughing at the picture like it was a goof, that he doesn't really look like that.
Yeah, it's pretty goofy.
They thought that was a disguise.
I mean, I think it's kind of cool that the guy doesn't care, but there's only so much to not caring.
Yeah.
You know, unless you're Cat Stevens and you're living in an ashram, I think you should try to do something with your image. At least sort of look presentable. Because the guy right now looks like homeless. He looks like a homeless mental patient.
Absolutely.
And it's a little disturbing. I don't think they did all that well with those concerts. I didn't think they would.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know that I could handle sitting at home New Year's Eve watching a Grateful
concert.
Yeah, a dead 2-hour concert. Even though I know it's kind of hip to be into that. I don't know that I don't really know anyone who really could do that.
And I wondered about the people who were having their party around the Dead concert.
Yeah. It's pretty frightening.
Really?
I think I
wondered about them.
Even White Trash was wondering about that. Like, what if sitting around your house with the Grateful Dead on pay-per-view? I don't know. That's pretty frightening. Don't you think?
And they did the commercials like this was going to be the best thing since baked bread.
Yeah, but all it was the Grateful Dead playing.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we got to take a commercial break. Yeah, so I'm going to shoot some commercials. So I was thinking, like, I would have stayed in the city maybe and done the hotel thing.
Yeah. If it had, I was planning to do that earlier in the week. When it snowed earlier in the week, I thought it was going to snow on successive days and be really bad and it'd get icy. So I was going to stay in town. And, of course, nothing happened.
Yeah, and then every time I stay in town, I get disappointed because I think that some girl's going to come knocking on my door and rape me.
Nothing happens.
And nothing ever happens. I just sit there in the hotel.
Well, that's the thing, because I keep thinking, I'd be in a hotel, a romantic interlude.
Yeah, right. And nothing happens.
Right.
What happens is you end up paying about $250 for a room they don't even make up. I walk in, it stinks from cigarettes. Because some nut job, some mental patient was in there smoking all day, and they don't even clean it up.
The one time I got a great hotel room, all I had time to do was sleep.
Yeah, right. And you sleep through it anyway.
And they had booked all the rooms at the price. I got a complete suite, Howard.
Well, then I get excited because I could go in, and maybe if they have some dirty movies, I could go in and have some good times with myself, unencumbered by the thought that my kids or my wife could walk through the door at any minute.
Mm-hmm.
I forget about it last night. I almost got caught.
Oh.
I did. I almost got caught. My wife has this thing now. When I say I'm going to bed, she comes into the room every 10 or 15 minutes. I think she's just trying to see what I'm doing.
She's trying to catch you.
Yeah, she's trying to catch me. It's like she's my mother or something. Even my mother had the courtesy to know what I was doing.
Well, wait a minute. Why? I mean, you'd figure everything else you share with your wife. I mean, she's seen you go to the bathroom, I suppose.
Yeah.
And she's seen everything else about you.
Yeah.
How come she couldn't see that?
It's kind of embarrassing. I'm going to be 34 years old. It's kind of embarrassing to have my wife walk in and just see me doing it. It's something like you do in private. Because she's going to come in and go, honey, why are you doing that? Why don't you let me do it? And she's going to get insecure that we have a bad sex life or something like that. And we don't. It's just something I like to do myself, and I do it real well, and I do it very fast. It takes her like an hour to get me off. I could do it in 2 seconds to myself. Literally, you would be amazed how fast I could do it to myself.
Yeah?
I just know what to do.
Well, why don't you show her?
I'd be a super homosexual because a woman just doesn't understand. There's just no way you don't have a wiener. You don't have one, and believe me when I tell you, I know how to do it quick. I mean, in 2 seconds, it's all over with, and I'm asleep. And I just want to get started with the whole hassle. Let her just keep the kids quiet.